Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Film. Hi, hey guys, it's Alex from Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Breaking Bad. Last time on Breaking Bad, we had I See You, which is probably a pun on I See You, as in, one of the cousins that saw Heisenberg there at the hospital, and also just a pun on I See You. ICU, the place where you take emergency hurting people. Hank was brought into the hospital after being shot. It was definitely confirmed that one of the assassin cousins was killed, obviously because Hank shot his head off, and then the other one was in critical condition. Walt was staying at the hospital with the family, but he wasn't working. Gus got a call from the cartel and was like, hey, I think you did this. And then he was like, interesting. Oh, I think there's someone at your door. And then just people, the army came in and killed him. That was that. The cartel's gone. And Middleman also went in and killed the other guy after he saw Walt and recognized him as Heisenberg. Yeah, that was pretty much that. Also, Walt and Jesse are going to have to pretty much work overtime in the next week to make sure that they deliver 400 pounds of blue meth to make up for what they didn't do in the previous week. So yeah, that was pretty much that. This is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever, and we should probably go ahead and get started on Season 3, Episode 9 of Breaking Bad. Here we go.
There, my two uncles were known far and wide for their delicious cooking. They seasoned their zesty chicken using only the freshest herbs and
is this
spices.
a Los Pollos commercial?
People call them Los Pollos Hermanos.
Ah.
The chicken brothers. One taste, and you'll know.
Oh! There's that meth. They're getting to work. Hide it in. With like the seasoning, I guess. Ah, clever. So only if you had a UV light, basically. Which, who the hell's going to be checking that with a UV light other than the people that need to, get the meth? Wow. Man, that was awesome. Get a little sneak peek of how it all works. I like it.
200 pounds a week for 3 months. That's 2,400 pounds. 2,400 times 40,000 is, and I swear to God, I double-checked this like 10 times.
$96 million.
$96 million.
And they're only getting
All right,
1.5.
96.
You are now a millionaire, and you're complaining?
Yeah,
What world do you live in?
One where the dudes who are actually doing all the work ain't getting fisted. What's going on with you lately? What's happened to you?
I think he just doesn't want to test Gus. Especially after what happened.
I got a warning call.
A warning call? What do you mean?
That's right.
Before they attacked me.
Yeah.
Called myself.
Shit, I forgot about that.
Told me to expect it.
Are we safe?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you safe?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. I feel it tingle.
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being your normal level of feeling and 1 being no feeling at all.
4.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Good.
So this is good news, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I hope he's not lying.
We're talking nursing care, modifications to your home, occupational therapy, medical equipment. It could run into the hundreds of thousands of dollars.
We're just supposed to compromise on his care.
Well, if you don't follow the insurance company's procedures,
Ooh,
they
what if
may
Walt
never
pays
pay
for
you
it,
back.
though?
Don't you get it? On the outside, it's a nail salon, right? On the inside, it's the best money laundry a growing boy could ask for.
Well, you want to stay out of jail, don't you? I mean, you want to keep your money and your freedom. Because I got 3 little letters for you, IRS. If they can get Capone, they can get you. Hey, look, unlimited cash supply and no job. Now, what is the conclusion the tax man makes?
Drugs.
I'm a drug dealer.
Wrong. Million times worse. You're a tax cheat.
Oh.
What do? They take every penny and you go in the can for felony tax evasion. Ouch! What was your mistake? You didn't launder your money. Now, the revenues from the salon go to the owner. That's you. Your filthy drug money has been transformed into nice, clean, taxable income brought to you by a savvy investment in a thriving business. Hey, hey, listen to me. Come on, I'm talking to you about your future here. Listen to reason.
He makes sense. That's the biggest issue, is that Saul always makes sense. Saul always makes sense, and that's why they hate him.
Those 2 men, the assassins. I believe I was their prime target. But that somehow they were steered away from me to my brother-in-law.
He figured it out. That Gus steered him away.
In one stroke, he bloodied both sides. Set the American and Mexican governments against the cartel. He would have the market to himself.
Well.
I respect the strategy. In your position, I would have done the same.
Yeah.
One issue. I don't know what happens when our 3-month contract ends.
$3 million for 3 months. That was our agreement.
Yeah.
Extended annually, $12 million a year.
Ooh.
Call it 15. Open-ended. Would that be agreeable?
For a year. Ooh. So he's not retiring anytime soon. Wow, that was interesting, man. It's so tense because you know he couldn't, like, blow up about Hank. Last second. Whew. That could have been a lot worse in a lot of ways.
Just like a box, you know, to put stuff in. So I wanted to get the thing done as fast as possible. Showed it to Mr. Pike. Is that the best you can do? I don't know. Maybe it was the way he said it, but it was like he wasn't exactly saying it sucked. He was just asking me honestly, is that all you got? And for some reason I thought to myself, yeah, man, I can do better. So I started from scratch. I made another. I traded it for an ounce of weed.
That was a rough story at the end there.
What are you doing here?
Well, I just thought I'd stop by to see how you're holding up. Is this a bad time, or?
Hi.
Teddy, you that horny?
I gotta say, your sister's seeing me here. I mean, so what?
I think he's trying
I'm
to...
divorced, you're divorced, so what?
Okay, let's talk about it later, Ted. Okay?
Is there some reason for secrecy I'm not getting?
Later,
Because,
Ted. Not now.
Skyler, just tell me
You
what-
really want to do this now?
Yeah.
Are you really gonna make me do this right now?
Now's not a good time, man. I get why, though. Like, why he wants to do it. But yeah.
Ted, I'm...
Free to cook anytime, anywhere. No quotas. I want to answer to. point of being an outlaw when you got responsibilities?
That's a good point.
Darth Vader had responsibilities. He was responsible for the Death Star.
True that. Two of them bitches.
But he wasn't the outlaw. Technically,
Just
Luke
saying.
was.
Let's kick it back into gear. All right, let's start slinging again.
Dude, come on.
Booyah!
This new version of it hit the streets, and wow,
Not that blue stuff.
Oh my god.
you had it too.
Yeah, bro. I wish I never even heard of it. It was like lighting my whole head on fire.
You bastards. They're
Stop burning down.
they're making a sales pitch.
Hoping hell is good.
I just wish there was something more that we could do.
We can always pay their bills.
Really?
It's tens of thousands of dollars.
We have the money. More than enough.
Huh.
Walt earned it.
Skyler, I think that...
He earned it gambling.
Really?
Walt and I, looking back, I don't think I ever really understood what it was that he was going through. It was more than facing death. It was knowing that he was going to leave behind
You lying bitch.
nothing. And so that's how this all started, for better or worse.
Gambling.
He wanted to, and he read books, and he did a whole bunch of research, and he came up with this system.
Skyler, you are an interesting character.
No, I don't pretend to understand, all the details, but he was convinced that if he put enough money into it, he'd have a, what is it, a statistical edge?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, go with it.
I guess for a couple months there you were sort of leading a double life, weren't you?
Oh my god.
That is an impressive lie.
Oh my god, your fugue state, was that some sort
No.
of cover?
No.
Did not fake that, Marie.
Okay.
The night that Walt disappeared, he lost $14,000. It was his pension fund, our savings.
Make it
basically
realistic.
every last
You
dime
can't just completely win.
gone.
Much money.
Oh.
At least 400,000 from the last job.
It's into seven figures.
Yeah.
Holy Mary, Mother.
That's the millions.
What can I say? I did very well.
Whoa! Now he's proud. I think he's a little proud of her.
How did you come up with that?
So fast.
Wait, where? Where did you possibly?
I learned from the past.
Oh! I knew she'd say that.
Something tells me that Hank is here because of you.
Oh, well...
Not forgetting that.
Well, I mean, if you want to be really technical... Jesus. She... Man, Skyler might be running into... Oh, I think she's climbing the ranks of my favorite characters. I don't think she reaches number 1. Who... If I were to list my favorite characters, maybe... It's hard. I think I might go with Jesse at the top. Jesse, Saul, Gus, Middleman, Skyler. Skyler, honestly, because... Woo! She may be more complicated than Walt is. Learn from the best, you lying bitch. It's... Oh my god, okay. Holy crap. Alrighty. Wow! That was impressive. That was more impressive than any lie Walt has ever told her. She learned from the best. I used to say, like, we used to talk about, things that Skyler did, and you could understand them. This is kind of her, like, what she has done now. First off, she's fully taken control of Walt and his money. At least in regards to Hank. But I mean, just I don't know, man. She has become more complicated between kicking out Walt. Okay, between kicking out Walt, not telling on him, cheating on him with Ted, not fully committing to a relationship with Ted. You guys have mentioned before her, doing all that other stuff for Ted at work, the more illegal stuff. Which, that is true. To now, the gambling lie. She has really become a very complex character, She definitely can't claim innocence anymore. She's done with that. Which you could debate whether or not she couldn't claim innocence for a while, but honestly, I like how she kind of goes back and forth, She does kind of have this, like, high moral standard, which in a sense Walt does too, to an extent. She kind of has, like, this high moral standard, but she does some shady crap as well, I really like it. I kind of like it more than with Walt, because, yeah, honestly, she's basically turned into Walt, Where, yes, he has sort of his moral dilemmas, I suppose, but he also does shady shit, I feel like it's, I don't know, but man, like, if anything, I guess the turnaround on her, The turnaround from being the innocent one to perpetuating a new lie, which in and of itself perpetuates Walt's lie, and uses illegal money for her own needs. Because I think also, like, a part of it is, honestly, it's acceptance, basically. It's acceptance of what Walt has become, And that's definitely what the divorce is, The divorce is definitely the acceptance of what has become of Walt. But I'm really trying to figure out how I word it. It's the acceptance of what happened to Walt, And now she is using it to her own advantage. Whereas before, she was, washing her hands of this. But now it's more of a, well, if it's there and my hands are dirty, what's the point in trying to keep them out? What's the point in saying that my hands are clean when they're not? I guess it's kind of that, She has accepted what Walt has become, and now is using it to her advantage by manipulating him, Because that is kind of what happened, is that she manipulated him into using his money, which he makes this money so that his family will be taken care of. She is now twisting that basically to be, well, yeah, you're taking care of Hank with this money. Which is not what he had in mind. This money was for Walt to give to his family upon his death. And now she has twisted it to her own... Well, to the benefit of Hank. You know, it's still for a good cause, but she has still twisted it. And by doing it, without talking to Walt first, by doing it in front of Marie, he has no choice but to accept, you know? Oh my gosh. It's definitely that she was above it all, you know? She was above it all and has slowly drifted her way down, basically. She has slowly drifted her way down to the point that now she accepts it, that she isn't below him. Or above him. I need to get my directions correct. She is not above him. And now she accepts that and is using it to her advantage. Which, honestly, is incredibly interesting. I really like that, actually, you know? Now, can she judge him in the future? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how much she can judge. The most would be, you know, maybe because she kind of does at the end a little bit, where it's like, I assume what's happened to Hank is because of you, you know? So she kind of, I mean, that's kind of, you know, judgmental and accusatory, you know? But at the same time, I don't know, you know? I don't know. Can she fully be judgmental? I honestly may not think so. Will she be? Maybe. I could still see that happening, you know? Man, that was just crazy. Oh my gosh. That was crazy. And again, that's the thing. That's why she's one of my favorites. Maybe top 5 favorite characters on the show. Is just that... It's just... I guess the change, you know? Because it is a change. That she used to be innocent, but slowly over the course of the past 2 seasons... She's gotten very guilty. She cannot wash her hands of this anymore, especially now. Now she is using it to her advantage. And, you know, maybe, you could honestly maybe argue that maybe she's worse than Walt, you know? Because what Walt does is he's just out there making money. Yes, it's illegal, but he's just doing that. She has now fully manipulated him and now is in control of his money, you know? So, man, oh man, that it's just insane. But I honestly like that. I honestly do. And it's not good what she's doing, you know? It's not good what she's doing. But it's fascinating to watch. It's fascinating to watch her change over time, you know? Oh, I love it. Okay. Oh, boy. So we can go ahead and hop into the notes on this one. So the first thing I wrote down is production. That was just cool at the beginning, where we see, we see Walt and Jesse, pumping out meth, and then we get to see the entire process of, those crates of meth get taken over to the packagers. They package it all up. They put it in it kind of looked like a thing of spices, basically. they put it into different spice containers, and then they're specifically marked with an invisible ink, which you would need. Here, I have one right here. You need a UV light to see. Yeah, sonic screwdriver doubles as a UV light, actually, which is pretty cool. Anyway, we'll just leave that right there. I never thought I'd have to get out the sonic screwdriver in Breaking Bad, but oh well. Actually, I'm just gonna hold it. Screw it. So yeah, that was really cool. Just seeing how that all worked. See how they did that basically. Okay, you know what? I feel like that's gonna start distracting me, so I'll just swap it out for my normal pen. Oh god. Ugh, excuse me. The next thing I wrote down is 96 million to 3 million. So yeah, Walt and Jesse collectively are paid $3 million for cooking the meth, basically. And, but the entirety of the profits makes up $96 million. And of $96 million, they are making $3 million, which means each they're making $1.5 million. I understand Jesse not being happy about that. It's like, oh, well, why shouldn't we get some more of that? I get that, but you also understand Walt, I'm sure does not want to press his luck with Gus right now, especially after, the stunt he pulled not doing his work that one week, So, you can understand him, but also just the fact that, he did say, hey, you're making millions and you're complaining. So yeah, that was pretty interesting. I wrote down the warning call. Yeah, I did forget about that. That I completely forgot that Hank got that warning call, and that was from Gus, or probably Middleman at least, but Gus had that called. So he wanted Hank to end up surviving, and so he gave him the warning, gave him a fighting chance, basically. And then that was so that he could get rid of the cartel, so that he would be the sole producer and seller in the United States, basically, north of the border. That was interesting, that was pretty cool, and I wrote down deeper plan, It did, that's the thing is that, at first you just kind of think like, oh, well, it's to save Walt because Walt is his cook, But it's more than that. That he wanted to divert it over to Hank to get the American and Mexican governments to take on the cartel, and then that would get rid of the competition, basically. So yeah, the deeper plan there. And that's the thing, you kind of think that, okay, Walt's going in and he's going to be pissed because he knows that, he figured out that that Gus was the one who authorized the two assassins to take on Hank. But he knows and respects the deeper plan. And that's the thing, is he even says, like, if I was in your shoes, I would have to make the same call, So he understands it. So I do like that. He doesn't get pissed, but he is, he does hate that this had to happen, especially to Hank, but he understands it. So I like that. Dog's barking for some reason. Okay, I guess that's over. Anyway. Let's see. Man, was this a kind of a long episode, by the way? 46 minutes, maybe a few minutes longer than normal, but I don't know, because as I was going through my notes, like, oh yeah, we had the money laundering scene, which actually I've gotten like recommended on YouTube. I think even before I watched Breaking Bad, I would be recommended Saul Goodman Explains Money Laundering, and I never watched the video, but that was really cool to actually see the scene in here. And that was very good explanation, like, because someone like Jesse wouldn't understand. I certainly had no idea what money laundering was, like what the details were. So I actually like that. So you invest in a business basically to look good, you know? Because if you have no job and you have millions of dollars, then the government's going to come along and be like, where did you get that money? Why do you have that? Why do you have that money? You don't have a job. We're going to take your money because you've been evading taxes, you know? So what you have to do is basically invest in a business, and then that way, all the profits and stuff are given to you, the owner, and that way, there you go, you have your money, you can pay your taxes, and the government can piss off, basically, So, which is exactly, basically, what, that's pretty much exactly what, Gus does, just on a much grander scale, and also he has the drug production that also goes through there. So, excuse me. So that's the thing, is that, that's basically what Gus does, So that was interesting. I do think Jesse needs to do that, because here's the thing, Jesse doesn't understand, man. And he's thinking like, oh, well, we need to go back on the streets, man. It's like, motherfucker, give it up, you have this job. And I get what he says, when he says like, I thought the point of being outlaws was that we wouldn't have responsibilities, That made sense. That actually is a good point, but yeah, it's like, if you want this money, you have to be smart about this. So you can't just go out, back onto the streets with your boys and stuff. Like, don't. That is going to come back to bite him. You definitely know that. Especially because he knows Walt is making excess. So he's going to try to take some of that, He's going to take some of that and sell it, try to make a profit on the side. And I'm pretty sure that's going to come back and bite him in the ass. He needs to be smart about this. He does. I think this is their biggest problem, is neither of them ever want to listen to Saul Goodman, but Saul Goodman is constantly right, and he's constantly smart, And I think they hate that. They honestly hate that, even though he is their lawyer, and he is, if it wasn't for him, honestly, they would never get this far, So that's the thing, But they hate listening to him, back to the deeper plan. We also got Walt's concern about what happens to him after their deal is done, What happens after the 3 months is over? And Gus just says, well, what do you want? And then he offers a new deal. I gave you a 3-month plan. How about I give you a 12-month plan, an annual plan, basically. So that's the thing, which I kind of want to re-listen to that, Re-listen. We'll turn on subtitles as well.
One issue which troubles me. I don't know what happens when our 3-month contract ends.
What would you like to?
You know why I do this. I want security for my family.
Then you have it. $3 million for 3 months. That was our agreement. Extended annually, $12 million a year. Call it 15. Open-ended. Would that be agreeable?
So, he has extended his deal. He has extended his deal annually. Now, when he says call it 15, does that mean 15 months, or does that mean 15 million for 12 months? That would be my question, but I guess that's really just a technicality, really. But yeah, we have extended the contract. Because, yeah, the whole purpose of this is to have security for his family, you know? So now we have a much bigger contract, which is great. We had Jesse's story about the box, which was pretty interesting. And him saying, you know, he traded that box that he spent so much time on. He put so much work and effort into it, and it became this great thing. And then he traded it for a little weed, you know? That, I mean... So I think, you know, he's trying to... I guess, is he trying to, like, sort of use that as an analogy? I mean, yes, that obviously happened, but is he also trying to use that as an analogy for what's happening with the deal? Is that he's putting all this work into it, and he's only getting $1.5 million. To him, it's not enough, considering, you know, all the work he's putting into this meth is netting $96 million. Like, this is good work, but he's only getting a little bit out of that, you know? Kind of seems like that's where he's going, which is why he wants to now sell some of it on the side to get a little more. But I just don't see this working out, man. I just don't. We'll have to see. I think there will definitely be a bit of a conflict now with Jesse. So, yeah. Wrote down Ted, which at first I thought Ted was just being a horny bastard. But no, he's a romantic bastard, damn it. You know? Ted is coming in being like, hey, you know, like, well, I mean, he was being nice and stuff. But also, then it's like, well, hey, you know, are we having an actual relationship, you know? And Skyler's like, do you want me to do this now? And it's like, come on, you know? So, which you can understand Skyler being like, this is not the time for that. But on the other hand, yeah, you kind of understand Ted. It's like, hey, you're divorced, I'm divorced. Are we not just in a relationship? You know? So, we'll have to see. I kind of hope, I mean, granted, I was going to say Ted probably deserves better, but I don't know. We don't know too much about Ted. He already does some illegal shit anyway, so I don't know. Maybe they deserve each other. I almost feel like Walt and Skyler do deserve each other for the shit she has pulled after the shit he has pulled, you know? I don't know. I kind of want good things for Ted for some reason. I don't know why, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Oh, and the last thing I wrote down is gambling. That lying bitch. Which, let's be fair, Walt is a lying bastard, you know? But still, Skyler has been getting way more interesting, especially this season. She's been getting way more interesting with the shit she is pulling, you know? And again, none of it's, like, good. None of the shit is good, and it's not like, I don't know, like, but it's fascinating. It's, like, interesting watching her mind work, you know? It's so interesting to just watch her mind work, especially with, you know, what we established with her in the first 2 seasons and everything. And her being so against Walt making, you know, cooking drugs and stuff like that, to now using his money to help her brother-in-law. To help Hank, you know? Using that to her own advantage, even though, yes, it is for a good cause, you know, helping Hank, getting him a physical therapist, but man, the shit she is pulling, and out of nowhere too, because Walt didn't see that coming, and Walt was blindsided by that, and that was the only way that this would work, you know? Man, oh man, the shit she is pulling. I love watching it, honestly. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Great episode, really great episode, and I'm looking forward to where we're going for the rest of this season, and further to the final 2 seasons, so yeah. That is pretty much it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Breaking Bad reactions, you can click on the playlist. You can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.